So you notice that there are things which cannot happen without time and space. There are things that happen beyond time and space. What is the dividing line between them? You notice that those that need time and space are generated by the mind, and those that do not need it are the functions of the soul. We are performing these dual functions all the time, while the soul is covered by the mind, the senses, and the body. And while performing these functions, we find that we are trying to find solutions to problems which may be existing in the soul. The soul may be unhappy over something, that why is it trapped? We are trying to solve the problem with the mind, with our thoughts, with speculation, with philosophy. Philosophy has never been able to solve these problems. Why were the philosophers not able to solve? Do you know there was a whole series of philosophers about a couple of 100 years ago who, the more they thought about solving the problem of loneliness, became more depressed than ever before. They called the depressed philosophers. And they led to whole reign of philosophy got into depression itself. And then enlightenment came from somewhere else. Let the philosophy go away. This was touched upon very briefly by William Shakespeare, the dramatist, who said there never yet was philosopher who could bear the toothache patiently. Even an ordinary toothache stops all philosophy there. Pain stops all philosophy. Pain has been created to make this experience real. Supposing there was no pain in this world, we'd be flying in a fantasy land. It won't be real. Pain makes this world real. But what a bad way to create reality, that you have to make pain in order to be real. But we were so needy of reality at all times, even right now. We want something real. All the time we say we want something real. And because of that need for reality, we introduce things like pain, need to shut off our internal knowledge of who we really are, to depend upon external forms as our own beings. And all these are things which have trapped us. And those rare people, which we call perfect living masters, operating amongst us with the awareness of their totality of consciousness at that very time, who can pull us out. They have nothing for us except compassion and love. They have no other thought. They have no judgment. They know the judgment is based upon mind. They don't operate from that. We think they are smart people sometimes, but they try to be smart because we like to engage them in intellect. We like to engage them in physical activity. We like to meet them, have physical contact. And we think that that's why they are physical. But they are doing all this for one purpose. They have only one purpose that they have: to pull the seeker out of these three big traps of the physical, the astral, and the mental worlds, and take them back to the nature of their true spirit. And not only that, to be their permanent friend forever, into the region of totality of consciousness where there is no time and space. The friendship is felt even there. This friendship that they inculcate here, which is their true method of teaching. They are not teachers really. They pretend to be teachers because we like to be taught. They are satisfying our mind to get it out of the way. They know the only obstacle we have to our own learning is our own mind. And they want to do something to keep our mind out of the way. They say, okay, the mind wants to be taught, we'll be teachers. They are not teachers. They come to take us out. They come just to pull us out into that region from where they are operating, which leads us to the fact that the truth of totality of consciousness lies in these functions that belong to the soul. Functions of love, beauty, joy. These are our true functions. And when we are pulled out of this morass of the mental worlds, that's what we'll be experiencing all the time. And once we have established that contact with somebody operating like this who pulls us out, that friendship lasts forever into eternity. I am very glad that I could share some thoughts about friendship to you today, because true friendship is available in this world. What do you need to do to find a true friend? Seek. No other qualification is needed. No qualification is needed to be found by a perfect living master except you seek. And seek in your heart. Seek inside. Seek in your mind. Don't seek by shouting loud. Seek inside. It's not your job to go and find where the master is. It's the master's job to come to you if you're a seeker. He'll find you if you're a seeker.